Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zach, and I'm here commentating over some more local games on the behalf of Whirlwind Games. If you want to check these games out live, we do stream our Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals every Wednesday and Saturday over at twitch.tv/WhirlwindGames, along with other product opening and other TCG games such as Digimon, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, and just pretty much anything else interesting going on down at the shop. So if you want to check it out, there will be a link down in the description, and we'd love to have you in the chat. But guys, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into round 3 of this week's local feature matches. We have my buddy Drew on the left, still playing the Punk Therion build. On the right, we have Anthony on Swordsoul Tenyi. Two of the bigger decks of the meta. We'll see how this goes. Drew will be going first with a copy of Xiamen, paying 600 to search the deck for any Punk monster, grabbing a copy of Ogre Dance and immediately pitching it to search for a copy of Deer Note. Just making sure we have a Dark Engrave for the Chaos Ruler later down the line. Activating the effect of Deer Note, pitching the Foxy Tune to summon the Deer Note to the field, and then synchroing into a copy of Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler Chainlink 1, Chainlink to Deer Note. Deer Note most likely targeting the Xiamen, and then Chaos Ruler will be able to mill the top 5. Hitting an Ogre Dance, another copy of Xiamen, the Aggro Engine, an Ash, and a Veiler, taking the Veiler off of the Chaos Ruler's effect. Definitely a good pickup against Swordsoul. We are then going to link our 2 monsters off into a copy of Halqifibrax. No hand trap from the Swordsoul player, and we will be able to summon a copy of Jet Synchron directly from the deck. We will now banish a Light in the Dark to summon back the Chaos Ruler. And then Synchro into a copy of Hot Red. Use the Junk Synchron effect Engrave to discard a card, summon it back to the field, setting up the Calamity's Lock if it gets to go through. Now, I know Anthony is playing more of a Go Second type of Swordsoul build, so hopefully he has an answer for this to prevent it. We will start by activating the effect of Ashuna in hand to special summon, and then at res, use the Halqifibrax effect to summon out a copy of Formula Synchron. Formula will let him draw a card, and then also as a quick effect, he'll be able to Synchro Summon on the opponent's turn. Now, it does appear that we have a response from Anthony. Most likely Droplets. Could be a Chalice. But if I know Anthony, it is most likely Droplets because he does love his shiny cardboard. And there it is, the ulti Droplets coming down, pitching in a Shuna from hand to negate the Formula. That all resolves, and then we will go ahead and link off the Ashuna on the field for a copy of Monk. And then on the res of the summon, we'll activate Call by the Grave, and we will call by the Ashuna Engrave, turning off any additional Tenyi access unless he plays them directly from hand. We will activate the effect of Long Yun in hand, pitching an Adhara to summon itself and also create a token. Synchroing off into a 10, into a Baron to floor. Long Yun's effect will be able to burn the opponent for 1200 life points. From here, the only things we know about are the Hot Red and the effect Veiler in hand that we got off of the Chaos Ruler. We will use the effect of Hot Red, targeting the Baron to negate the pop, since he did try to pop it with the Baron effect. Looks like we will use the Baron effect to negate and destroy the hot red, and then that will be met with the effect failure. Next up, we activate a copy of Swordsoul Emergence, being able to add any Swordsoul monster from the deck to the hand. Grabbing ourselves a copy of Taya, since we do have plenty of worms in the grave that we can potentially banish as fuel. We will normal summon the Taya, use the effect, banish the Long Yun, and then after the token would be summoned, we're dropping the Nib. Wiping the board, making a huge token. They do need to calculate, yeah. This token's going to be pretty big. Now this does pose the need for Drew to be able to remove this somehow. And I believe that is all that Anthony has in hand. He could potentially use Adhara here to add back Long Yun, but it might be better to save that for later. That way he could grab the Ashuna and get things going, just depending on what he draws for turn. Passing it over to Drew, let's see what he can do. Taking a good long look at Carp as a potential way to swarm the field. Carp being a really nice fusion monster for the Punk engine that I really haven't seen too many people utilize. Looks like we will what will we do? We have burned through the Hulk and most of our big synchro push for the first turn. So it looks like we're going to activate the effect of Foxy Tune. Sorry for the glare. Pitching the Deer Note to summon Xiamen from the deck. And then Xiamen's effect, we can pay 600 life points to add any Punk monster from the deck to the hand. Since he was taking a longer look at the Carp, most likely going to be grabbing a copy of Sharakusai here, which is the other level 3. It has two effects. You can pay 600 life points to fusion summon a Punk monster, or as a quick effect on your opponent's turn, you can also pay 600 to synchro summon a Punk synchro monster, which is really neat. I don't believe the Punk deck actually plays the Punk synchro. Beautiful card though. Love the art for all the monsters. And there it is. We'll conduct the normal summon for Sharakusai. I'll be using his ability to pay 600 life points to conduct a fusion summon for a Punk fusion monster. Using itself and the Xiamen off for a copy of Carp. And Carp actually has a really neat effect. You can tribute this fusion summon card, special summon up to 2 Punk monsters with different names from each other from your hand and or deck, except for level 8 monsters. It also has a neat little effect if it's used for synchro material, but usually in this deck it's going to be used as a stepping stone to get you back into a level 8 synchro play. It appears we are just going to pass on, we're just going to wall up. Oh no. I believe all 3 Xiamens are out of the deck, so we don't have a valid target to summon out of the deck. That is very unfortunate. We will pass it back over to Anthony. It looks like Drew is ready to concede this game because he expects that Anthony drew the nuts. Looks like Anthony is just going to go battle phase, attack over the Carp, and pass it back over to Drew. Drew will draw for turn. I'm not too sure what that was, but it definitely wasn't anything. I think he's out of gas. Passing it back over to Anthony. Anthony does control a non-effect monster with the Nib token, so all he has to do is... Does he have it? Banish the Adhara, add back Long Yun. And then Long Yun effect in hand, pitch whatever he drew, because he has it now. Long Yun, pitch Long Yun, make a token, synchro into something, burn for 12. GG. On to game number 2. Swordsoul taking it. Going into game number 2, Drew will be taking first yet again. Let's hope that we can get the Hot Calamity to stick, or at least see some of the Therion monsters as well in combination with the punks. Starting off with an aggro system. This will let him foolish any Therion monster from the deck to the grave. Sending a copy of Lily. Activating a copy of Disc Coliseum, this will let him add any Therion monster from the deck to the hand. Adding a copy of King Regulus. Special summoning King Regulus, equipping the Lily. Using the Lily effect to add a Therion spell or trap, going for charge. Charge being a nice like trade-in-esque card, letting you tribute a Therion from hand, field. It doesn't matter if it's a monster or not, you just get to draw 2. That's exactly what we'll do. We'll send the field spell since it's already served its purpose, and we're going to draw 2 free cards. I believe we dug into the Xiamen, so Xiamen effect will pay 600 life points to add a copy of Ogre Dance. Ogre Dance effect, pitch itself, and we're going to add a copy of Deer Note to hand. Effect of Deer Note, we're going to pitch the Foxy Tune to summon itself. And right here we are good to go into Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 Deer Note, of course. Not the best of mills, I'm not going to lie, those were kind of stinky. And then he remembers to resolve the effect of Deer Note as well. There we go. We still have Regulus on field, so we are sitting decently and we have access to Hulk. But we are going to use the effect of Duke to special himself, equipping the Water Therion. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, I do apologize. Duke is a level 8 though, so we can get into the Zombie Vampire, forcing both players to mill the top 4 cards, and then you can summon any monster that is revealed this way from either graveyard. Milling a Lily, an Ash, an Ogre Dance, and an Anti-Spell. Not too sure on what you would want to summon here. Looks like we will summon a copy of Foxy Tune. And then we will link off the Zombie Vampire and the Xiamen into a copy of Hulk Fibrax. Hulk effect will be able to summon a tuner from the deck. We're going to grab the Jet Synchron. And we should for sure have a Light in the Dark engraved for the Chaos Ruler, banishing the Zombie Vampire, along with the first Foxy Tune from the beginning of the turn. Summon back the Chaos Ruler in defense position. And then we will Synchro 9 into a copy of Hot Red. We will pitch a copy of Regulus from hand to bring back the Jet Synchron, and then we will special summon the Bull, equipping the Duke. And then we will pass it back over to Anthony. Anthony does have Circle and Vishuda access in grave right now, thanks to the Zombie Vampire mills. We'll start with the effect of Ashuna in hand to special. The summon is good, and then at res, we are going to use the effect of Formula. That we summon off a Hulk to draw a card. And then the quick effect to be able to synchro summon on the opponent's turn. It looks like Anthony might have a response yet again. This time he is definitely going to have to pitch more than just one card to be able to survive this. And there's the droplets. Sending a token collector. That must be a cross-out target. I know Anthony likes his cross-out and going second with Swordsoul. Also discarding a dimensional barrier and sending the Ashuna. So we are going to negate the Regulus, the Hot Red, and the Formula Synchron, dealing with all of Giroux's known interactions. We're going to use the effect of Triple Tactics to draw 2 cards. I did have to go back and watch the VOD to make sure what this interaction was, what was going on. Right now he doesn't know if the Bull is a quick effect. We do confirm that within the video during the locals. And it appears that it does not matter. We will attempt to negate it though with the Regulus just to get the Regulus off the field. And then from here, we'll go battle phase, into battle phase. Evenly matched. Forcing Drew to banish as many cards as possible so he controls only one card, leaving the Hot Red on field. Main phase 2, we're going to activate a copy of Swordsoul Emergence, being able to add any Swordsoul name from the deck to the hand. Grabbing a copy of Taya. Normal summon Taya. Then effect, we are going to banish a copy of Swordsoul Emergence to make a Swordsoul token. And then there is the token collector. The bane of every Swordsoul player's existence. So that will destroy the Swordsoul token. We do not have a non-effect on the field to be able to use the Ashuna effect to engrave. So we'll just go ahead and pass it back over to Drew, and Drew will start his turn by drawing for turn, then activating the effect of Aggro System. We'll add back the King Regulus. Special the King Regulus, equipping one of the Therions. Going for the water one, I don't believe it really matters which one you equip at this point. And it looks like we're just going to go ahead and scoop it up and go to game 3. Punk Therion taking game number 2. Alrighty, hopping into game number 3. Let's see who will be going first. Alright, Anthony letting Drew go first yet again. Drew starting with a copy of Foxy Tune, pitching itself for cost. We're going to try to Ash Blossom that, but we do have the Gamma to stop the Ash Blossom. So the chain will resolve, Gamma will summon itself plus the driver from deck, and then Foxy Toon will be able to discard another monster to be able to special summon one punk monster from the deck that's not a level 8. We'll go for Xiamen. Xiamen effect will pay 600 life points and we'll be able to add any punk monster from the deck to the hand. Grabbing ourselves a copy of Ogre Dance, using its effect, pitching itself to add another punk monster from the deck to the hand. Opting to grab a copy of Sharakusai. This is the one that lets you fusion summon, so we'll pay 600 to conduct a fusion summon of a punk monster. Going to be able to get into Carp, and then Carp will be able to get 2 more monsters out of the deck for us. Using Carp's effect to tribute itself, to then summon 2 punk monsters from hand and or deck with different names that are not level 8. Summoning out a copy of Xiamen. This is the 3rd one, I believe, and a copy of Deer Note. On res, we're going to see the Nibiru being dropped. That is rough. Now, arguably, this Nibiru could have been a little bit later. I would have at least waited for them to commit to the Hulk. That way, Hulk is no longer an option later on in the turn. This does trigger Deer Note, though, since it left the field. We will be able to summon back one of our punk monsters in grave. So we do have access to bring back a Xiamen, or we can bring back the Sharakusai, just a tuner in general, get us into Hulk, but I don't know what that all will do for us, since we don't really have any other bodies to be able to synchro summon with just at the moment. Looks like we will be bringing back the Xiamen and then linking these 2 off into a copy of Halqifibrax. Hulk effect to summon a tuner from the deck. Could probably still go for Jet here. Deciding on summoning a copy of Jet Synchron from the deck off of Hulk. Not too sure what we do from here, in all honesty. Having to burn through all 3 Xiamen so early on turn 1 does not feel very good. And we will just pass. Thinking about potentially going into battle phase. I believe this would still be in main phase. Yes. So we're going to go ahead and use the effect of Halqifibrax, summon out Formula Synchron to draw a card. And we'll still go battle phase, attack over the formula. We'll set 1 card and pass it over. What is in Anthony's hand? Drew is playing the level 11 Punk Synchro. I did not think he was playing that. What did he possibly draw, though? That would make him even consider that. We did get a copy of Regulus, which is nice. So Regulus targets the Formula Synchron to summon that and equip it. Anthony tries to call by it to stop the summon, but Drew just clarifies that it doesn't have to equip it in order to summon it, because it says special summon this card, and if you do, equip the monster to this card. So it wouldn't stop it. It's still going to be summoned regardless. So just keep it for something about later. Drew's a good friend in that regards. From here, I really don't know what he does, though. And from rewatching the VOD, I believe that time is almost about to be called. No damage has been dealt, except for Drew paying for punk effects. So he needs to either sink in some damage, or he just loses in time due to his own monster effects, which is kind of unfortunate. The one downside to the punk engine. He does have a Foxy tune in hand, but he doesn't have any more Xiamens in deck. All three are in grave. Hulk has already been used. The only level 9 he plays is Hot Red. I don't believe there's anything he can really make here or do. Nib is just too big. Looks like we will be linking off the Jet Synchron. It appears he took out the Anima, or the Link Karibo. That is unfortunate. And right here is where time gets called. Very unfortunate. Anthony did have the Mystic Mine in hand too, just in case the board got too crazy for him to deal with. But that will do it. Swordsoul takes this game 2-1. Guys, if you enjoyed this type of content, please let us know down below. Leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, catch you later. Peace.